If you have an interest in esoteric and spiritual subjects, it is highly likely that you have been significantly influenced by Hermetic philosophies, even if you are not consciously aware of it. In this video, we will explore the various facets of Hermeticism, including its definition, origins, principles, historical context, and we will conclude by discussing the 7 universal laws discussed in the book Kybalion. Hermeticism can be defined as a philosophical system that originated in ancient Egypt and is associated with the Egyptian god Thoth. The Greeks later incorporated Thoth into their pantheon as Hermes Trismegistus, also known as Thrice Great Hermes. The title, Thrice Great, is derived from Hermes' reputed mastery in 3 areas of knowledge: alchemy, astrology, and theurgy, which are all integral to Hermeticism. Alchemy involves the transmutation of base materials into gold, the pursuit of the philosopher's stone, which is believed to grant immortality, and inner alchemy for personal spiritual transformation. Astrology focuses on understanding celestial movements and their impact on the human psyche. Theurgy encompasses the operation of the gods and includes both Goetia, which relies on alliances with demons, and theurgy itself, which relies on alliances with angelic beings, archangels, and deities. I will cover videos on these 3 topics in the future, so make sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you find them intriguing. According to the Greek scholar Clemens Alexandrinus, Hermes was believed to be the author of all Greek sacred books, totaling 42, which were divided into 6 sections. These sections covered subjects such as priestly education, temple rituals, geography, astrology, hymns to the gods, as well as a guidebook for kings, and even a medical text. The Corpus Hermeticum is arguably the oldest and most significant text associated with Hermeticism. It is believed to have been written between the 1st and 3rd centuries CE and consists of 17 texts containing dialogues between Hermes and various individuals. One of the most renowned texts within the Corpus Hermeticum is the Poimandres, in which Hermes encounters a divine figure named Poimandres and engages in discussions about the nature of God, the creation of the universe, and the spiritual journey of the soul. In addition to the principles mentioned previously, the other main principles of Hermeticism are as follows: everything in the universe is interconnected and part of a unified whole, which is God. There exist universal laws and principles that govern the functioning of the universe. By recognizing and aligning with this unity and its laws, individuals can attain spiritual enlightenment. Practices such as meditation, ritual, and visualization serve as ways to communicate and interact with the divine, enabling individuals to receive spiritual insights and guidance. Reality has a threefold nature, comprising the spiritual, mental, and physical realms. The mind and thoughts have the power to influence and shape reality. These concepts provide a framework for comprehending the nature of reality, the relationship between the individual and the cosmos, and the path towards spiritual enlightenment. During the period from the 8th to the 14th centuries, a cryptic and concise text known as the Emerald Tablet of Thoth emerged. It is important to note that no original physical copy of the Emerald Tablet has been found through archaeological discoveries. Instead, references to it come from other historical writings. One of the oft-quoted terms, as above, so below, is derived from a sentence in the Emerald Tablet: that which is above is like that which is below, and that which is below is like that which is above, to accomplish the miracles of the one thing. Although the Corpus Hermeticum was written in the 1st to 3rd century, it remained relatively unknown in the Western world until the 15th century, when Byzantine scholar and philosopher Gemistus Pletho introduced these texts to Cosimo de' Medici. The Medici family then commissioned scholars like Marsilio Ficino to translate several Hermetic texts, including the Corpus Hermeticum, from Greek to Latin in the late 15th century. Ficino went on to establish the Platonic Academy in Florence, which became a center for the study of philosophy, including Hermeticism. This is widely regarded as a significant catalyst for the Renaissance, a period of renewed interest in classical studies that sparked advancements in art, music, literature, and science. Throughout history, Hermeticism has been linked to the belief in an original divine wisdom revealed to ancient sages like Hermes Trismegistus. During the Renaissance, this belief evolved into the concept of Prisca Theologia, which posits that there is a single true theology given by God to the first humans, with remnants of this wisdom present in various ancient systems of thought. This concept further developed into the notion of a perennial philosophy, suggesting that different religions represent different interpretations of the same divine truth. To grasp the significance of these ideas during that time, let's briefly trace the history of Western civilization. The ancient period spanned from approximately 400 BC, encompassing the civilizations of Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Greece, until the fall of the Roman Empire in 476 AD. The early Middle Ages extended from 476 AD to around the 10th century, followed by the High Middle Ages from the 10th to the 13th century. During these periods, feudalism consolidated, powerful monarchies emerged, and notably, the Church exerted its authority. The Church's dominance led to inquisitions against perceived heretics, including groups like the Cathars mentioned in a previous video. Hermeticism and the alternative ideas it presented challenged the absolute authority of the Church for the first time. People were drawn to the philosophy of Hermeticism, with its concepts of God as both the creator and the created, the divinity within humans, reincarnation, human potential, and individualism. These ideas brought concepts like individual rights and freedom to the forefront. The invention of the printing press in the 1440s played a crucial role in facilitating this shift. It democratized knowledge by making books more accessible. Prior to the printing press, books had to be copied by hand, making them prohibitively expensive for the common people. The Hermetic texts also influenced alchemists, who can be considered the precursors to modern chemists. Several individuals who are now recognized as scientists, such as Isaac Newton, were experimental alchemists. The Renaissance is generally considered to have lasted until the 17th century, followed by the Enlightenment in the 18th century, which emphasized rationalism and empiricism. I am sure you are all familiar with the Industrial Revolution of the 19th century and the subsequent modern era of our times. Esoteric groups heavily influenced by Hermeticism in the 17th century were the Christian Kabbalists and Rosicrucians. In the late 19th century, the Theosophy Society emerged, followed by the establishment of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn in the late 19th and early 20th century. These organizations carried forward and expanded upon the philosophical and mystical aspects of Hermeticism, shaping Western magic and the New Age movement. In 1908, a book considered one of the best distillations of Hermetic thought in modern times was published. This book was called the Kybalion and was authored by the three initiates, who chose to remain anonymous. Within the Kybalion, the authors present 7 universal Hermetic principles, which I will briefly cover here. Law of Mentalism, all is mind. Everything in the universe is a manifestation of the universal mind, composed of consciousness. The external world reflects our inner thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions. Law of Correspondence, as above, so below. As within, so without. While things may appear different on the surface, they may possess similar harmonious qualities and connections. For example, the color red and the element of fire are associated with the planet Mars. Law of Vibration, everything in the universe is in a constant state of vibration. All matter, energy, and thoughts have their unique vibrational frequency. Different levels of vibration determine the manifestations that arise. Law of Polarity, duality exists, such as light and dark, hot and cold, and up and down. Both extremes are actually part of the same spectrum. Whenever one pole exists, the opposite pole simultaneously exists as a counterbalance. Law of Rhythm, everything follows a rhythm and moves in cycles. There are periods of expansion and contraction, ebb and flow. Our seasons of spring, summer, autumn, and winter serve as examples of this principle. Law of Cause and Effect, also known as the law of karma, every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. Thoughts, feelings, and actions create energetic ripples that eventually return to us in equal measure. Law of Gender, everything possesses masculine and feminine aspects. This extends beyond biological gender and includes the principles of active and passive, giving and receiving.